Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be looking at a FlaSh game. We have FlaSh here on Dominator in the top left, and he'll be going up against one of the stronger amateur Protoss players in Disco. He is, of course, from Wiko clan. But yeah, Disco's been around for a while. We have a fair amount of games of him on the channel here. But he is someone who's not yet like an ASL level player, but he's got some pretty strong PvT. Yeah, there's, you know, he's one of those guys that just plays against pros all the time. Very, very high up on the ladder and everything. So should be a fun one here on Dominator against FlaSh. And we'll see what he ends up opening up with. Yeah, I don't know. FlaSh games are just... I love FlaSh games. It's like you can literally always learn from a FlaSh game because of his ridiculous level of understanding. Looking at this, might be a forward gateway. That's what I would guess. If you're going to go Nexus first, there's no reason to put your first pylon up there. But yeah, no big surprise there. Forward gateway, a very good build for Dominator. But it'll take, of course, a minute for that. So I do want to take this opportunity and thank you guys for tuning in to ArtosisCasts. Really do appreciate it. Liking that video and, you know, leaving a comment, things like that are very, very helpful. Of course, if you are not subscribed, and you should check, because every time I say this, people are like, oh my God, I didn't realize I wasn't subscribed. But yeah, that helps quite a bit as well. So thank you very much, guys. And yeah, hope that you're enjoying all the great StarCraft content lately. You know, 2 ASLs a year, and ArtosisCast every day. There's a lot of other commentators on YouTube as well out there, so very, very nice stuff. Okay, so Probe finds FlaSh first. Kind of an interesting building placement so far. You know, you're going to have to put a depot over here, and that kind of clogs this route out of your base. I am interested in building placements for this position specifically on this map. This is a very difficult position to fit everything that you need in actually like every single matchup. The mining is amazing on these minerals, but yeah, it's really, really messy trying to fit your buildings. So let's see if this messes him up very much throughout the game. It's FlaSh, so probably not. Zealot coming out of that initial gateway, another Zealot on the way, and of course Cybernetics Core coming up. So it's going to be a 2 or 3 Zealot pressure into Dragoon. So FlaSh is like 100% going to have to make a third depot. There is no way to hold this with the standard, you know, like 3 Marines into Vulture play. You're not going to be able to get your bunker up. And as this Zealot comes in, he's going to turn that Marine around. And, ooh, is he going to take a hit? I think he's going to take 1 hit. Yep, there it is. That's a funny thing. You actually have to be really careful about where you stand your Marines if you send them out front before you know whether there's Zealot. Oh my God. And that was really good micro from Disco. Like that was pretty impressive. Like FlaSh's Marine was just off by like 1 pixel there basically, and had to move to the left a little bit, and he kind of blocked it and made sure that his probe was attacking as well. Targets down and kills. Okay, he actually gets good damage there too. Targets down and kills an SCV and does good damage to these Marines. So he's killed 1 Marine, and he's got some pretty good damage on these other ones. You're going to have to save this Zealot now to go with the Dragoon, because the one Zealot isn't going to do anything. If you've sacrificed a Zealot to get that much damage, though, you might find the Terran going for the bunker. Yeah, there's the bunker, and he did make that third depot. There's the add-on. And yeah, FlaSh is judged just right. You know, it can be frustrating having to make the bunker before your command center, but looks like it should all work out. And he's already got his SCVs back on gas, too. So, very strong overall defense. And really, the pressure here from Disco was good, too. You can't really say too much about it. Like, I think he controlled it well. He pulled back correctly. Hasn't really taken damage on his other units. So, you know, looking at this early game, who's ahead from this early game? Well, now that Vulture's in here, it's FlaSh. You know, just getting this full scout and getting a couple probes, because you should, when you get that Vulture buy like that, you should get a couple at least. And in fact, he got 3 probes there. So that was very, very good. You can see he's up by exactly 3 workers at the moment. So yeah, overall, a slightly better opener here from FlaSh, but not the type of opener where I'm like, oh, this game's over. Mine's on the way. Ooh, I'm really interested because he made the bunker. So I think he's going to go armory. Like, it's been a little bit more popular lately to go to factory, though. And that is the Sank Factory. Okay, this is actually something I want to see really badly, is how FlaSh wants to play this position. I've actually gone back to these types of builds, too, right now. Like, the Armory openers are losing a lot of popularity, like, right now. A lot of top Terrans have decided to go back to 2 factories. But yeah, this is like one after some kind of heavy pressure. Now, he gets a couple mines down there. One of them got shot down immediately. The other one took a hit, so the odds of this... Yeah, see, you just kind of... If it doesn't have the 2 hits on it, then you're basically going to clear it easily. Some defensive mines out in the front, another Vulture going down, and he is going for very fast Vulture speed here as well. But yeah, okay, so what I wanted to say and why I'm interested in this exact position is because a lot of the games I've seen lately of Pro Terrans going for the 2 factory play are games where they're able to get by without a bunker, but this is with a bunker. And the thing is, you can do it with the bunker, but it slows the second factory a bit. So I just want to see, like, okay, FlaSh, you know, he had to make the bunker because of the way the early game went. Now, how is he going to play this? And he is getting the pretty quick Vulture speed and everything, getting some pretty good scouting going. Now, looking over at Disco's part of the map here, he's going 2-gate Observer. So there is some potential to put a little bit of pressure on. Like, he can walk across the map with his Dragoons as he gets the Observer out. But, of course, that'll slow his third base because he's not clearing the mines that are going to be on it. Walks into one there. Armory and turrets on the way. Additional gas as well. Interesting armory location. That, because, okay, so recalls and Reaver drops are really strong on this spot. Well, in this map in general, but really strong on this spot as well. It's so, like, if you put stuff over here, it's very likely to be targeted down. So you do want your armory. I generally put the armory, like, up here, but this is kind of, like, look at that spot. It's like, yeah, SCVs can still get by. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, but, like, this is not something that will ever get sniped. Like, if you lose control of this position, the game's over. So I kind of like the position overall, even though it's really wonky and weird looking. Okay, so Reaver going to be coming up. Shuttle speed on the way here as well. The speed Vultures continuing to run around. That's kind of a weird place to put 3 mines, but I guess that... Oh, I understand now. He threw these 3 mines down to make sure he could secure the kill on this Dragoon, and so you can't really say too much about that. Gets the Dragoon kill. Looking back at FlaSh's base, going for siege mode as well as Goliath range. Now, I think what we'll see from here is FlaSh add a couple of factories before trying to go for an expansion or anything like that, and then maybe into an academy. But yeah, I think it'll be 2 factories. We shall see. Third Nexus coming up here for Disco. Yeah, getting a Reaver out, and a couple more Observers will be coming out as well. FlaSh still rotating with the Vultures a little bit here, and Disco's just clearing some of the nearby areas that might have mines so that he can easily set up a 4th base at some point. You know, when you're getting into this type of position, like, this is a very late third, and part of that is the early pressure that we had. Another part is he's trying to get the speed very quickly for the shuttle. By the way, there's the 2 additional factories, and it looks like he is sending this up. So yeah, this is becoming the metagame a little bit right now, and there's the academy. This is becoming the metagame a little bit right now, where you're kind of going up to the 4 factories, and, well, after the 2 factory, you go into 4 factory nowadays, and then you take your 3rd base. And we can see that he's pushed that academy back to after the 4 factories, which makes sense because you're getting a lot of scouting done with your initial Vultures. So here comes the Reaver drop. Now, speed is just finishing, but he's got 2 Goliaths in great position here. Gets that double volley, and the shuttle will have to turn around. We don't have a missile turret up here, so that's a little bit dangerous. There is some potential for him to come up here and slow this expansion down a little bit. Not like kill it or anything. We've got great mines around the map, so like the rest of the army can't come up here very quickly. Very good vision for FlaSh overall. You can see he's kind of mirroring where he thinks the shuttle will go. He's got some good anti-air spread around as well. This is really very, very well played from FlaSh. And the thing is, this isn't poorly played by Disco. But yeah, I had no idea that this game would look like this, and I had no idea that FlaSh was going to play on this kind of new metagame that we're seeing. But look at the way that he's approaching this. He's making an additional ring of missile turrets, right? Like he had his initial ones that were near the command centers and everything, like in the crucial areas. And he even has the 2 Goliaths with range out, and then he starts putting up additional ones. So he's going like really heavy on the anti-air in this area. Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to do a good balance of zooming in and zooming out, because people like the zooming out, especially if you're watching on like PC, but a fair amount of people do watch on mobile, so I do want to be careful to not make it too small for them all the time, although sometimes the bigger picture is really important to see, I think, with the zoom out. Zoom out is my favorite thing that happened in Remastered, to be completely honest with you. It makes analyzing positions so much more fun. Oh my god. Back in the day where everything was just locked in, having to scroll back and forth and like try to look at whole positions, it was very, very difficult. So looking back at Disco's position, 4th Nexus is coming up. He's getting ready for a 5th Nexus over here. He hasn't overextended everywhere, or anywhere rather. FlaSh continuing to add some factories and everything. Very depot heavy over here. Really good anti-air. Very good position for him. I'm so happy with the fact that we have a game that looks like this. My god. Like, FlaSh is really well defended. I love how much he's defended his main base. I talked about this several months ago when speed was really rising up, about how he was building more missile turrets than everyone else, and he was putting a lot of mines into his main base as well. Well, a lot of top Terrans do put a good amount of mines in their main base. But, like, the actual turret count for Speed, who was, like, the #1 ladder Terran by far a little bit ago, like, we haven't had ladder domination like that in a while. That was one of the things that really stood out to me. And we actually see FlaSh kind of doing that. A lot of times, the very top pros skimp on their static D a little bit, but I feel like this is this is one of the heavier coverages that we really ever see from a top guy. So that to me is kind of exciting, because I was talking about how I think that will be something we see in the future from all pro Terrans, is heavier missile turrets in the main base like Speed does. And it's not every game, you know, but a game like this, like, look at the amount of shuttles that he's making here. We might see him try to dive in. And that's an area where Terran can take a lot of damage. Now, let's count the factories. We have 3 with add-ons, 6 more, so he's going up to 9. Here's the 4th command center. He's got Science Vessel on the way, some additional static D going up over here as well. He's got this full wall, and he's obviously taking this position as the 4th. This position can be a little bit tricky to take, and I'll talk about that in a second, because it looks like Disco's coming up to challenge it a little bit right now. FlaSh is really spread, so this is very, very, very breakable for Disco. Yeah, he's going to drop on top of the mines a little bit, on top of the siege tanks a little bit. Still a few mines here coming up and dragging into these. Very good Psystorm, and in fact drops off another shuttle into the main base to clear the tanks that were sitting there defensively. And he should pull back at this point. So overall, that was a bit more efficient from FlaSh. But Disco did, like, clear a lot. He cleared a lot of the vultures and everything. But yeah, this is a hard spot. If you look at this 3-player map, like, the rally for Protoss is always here. So it's very quick and easy for them to attack this location. So this is, like, a more difficult base to take, and this is a normal 4th in these spawns, because it's too hard to take as a 3rd. But yeah, this is going to be an area possibly of continual contention, because, you know, he's got units over here, he's got units over here, and they don't help this position. So Disco's going to run up here while there's not a lot of units here and try to punish. And the thing is, you bring this in, and even though you're not going to completely break the position, the SCVs have to run it. You can see that's one of the first things that he did, was run those SCVs, because otherwise you get Psystormed all to hell from up here on the high ground. Now, that was a bit too wasteful. That was a little bit too wasteful there from Disco. I think FlaSh is going to be able to take this position a lot easier now. By the way, new base going up down here. I love that he's put some cannons down. Right now, Disco on 5 base, getting ready for his 6th. This is the important spot on the map. And in fact, FlaSh is scanning that. He understands the timing that Disco should be looking at to take it. And already is bringing vultures over, but they're already somewhat damaged, so this is not enough to really clear all of this. He's just scanning around quite a bit. Yeah, he's just checking, like, okay, what do you have as far as defense at these? You're like, you know, does he have an opportunity to run in and snipe some probes or whatever? Honestly, sniping some probes might be helpful for Disco because he's at 79, which is, I would say, like, it's okay to have that many for a while, but if you were to go down to 70, I think you'd be in a better position after a little bit. Okay, another little bust into this area. Super lightly defended. I think this is going to be an issue for FlaSh because, yeah, like, this base, like I said, in these spawns, very, very difficult to hold. It's just, it's such a quick travel distance from the rally that you can send, like, gigantic armies through very, very, very quickly. It's like, what did Day9 used to call it? Like a 300 supply push. It's like when you're maxed out and you're attacking and then, like, your reinforcements come up too or something. Don't recall exactly, but, like, that type of idea of, like, yeah, now you have to get reset up, and it's like, well, his units are going to pop out very quickly. He can send them north if he wants. But, yeah, FlaSh is going to have to decide how he wants to play this. Does he want to cut across like this, or does he want to go into this area? I would say very hard to decide. Ooh, this just barely didn't have its size storm. There you go. Gets a decent one off there. FlaSh trying to take the middle. So it looks like he's trying to make a line like this. But Disco's doing a really good job of reducing siege tank numbers. 2-2 upgrades for FlaSh, so that's starting to get a little bit scary here. He's got his double armory going. I actually really do like those armory positions. That's so safe. It's so safe. Really like to see stuff like that. That's never seen it on these spawns. You know, isn't StarCraft a special game where I feel like every few days in a cast, I'm like, I've never seen this. I can't even tell you the number of games that I've seen. Now, here comes another attack onto this position. Okay, this is getting really interesting. So, FlaSh is taking over this area. This is something Light started doing on Dominator pretty early on in the map's history. And I've always felt like this is one of the stronger moves you can do. If you can siege up the center and lay some mines, they have to go around. They can bludgeon through. Like, it is possible to clear the area, but it's very, very messy. So, he's short in this area. If you want to attack up here now, you have to go, like, left aligned. So, FlaSh setting up the siege tanks in this area. Oh, wow, that's really far forward. I feel like if I'm Disco, I'm clearing this 100%. This is, like, too much to have these tanks on the edge. Clearing some of the mines out here. More vultures and tanks coming down the right side. Looking at this space. Okay, some Dark Templars coming out. Always nice for a fringe expansion. A couple of High Templars in there as well. And here comes the attack up this left side once again. You know, this is the kind of easiest area to attack. It's interesting he keeps putting these tanks back here as well. But yeah, Disco going to attack up. And obviously he's going to be able to clear this. The SCVs are going to have to run again because the High Templars are coming, see? Yeah, has to run that. Lifts this. He's bringing back a lot of the units he was sending the right side. And now Disco's going to try to hit into this base, which is the 5th base location here of FlaSh. Now, FlaSh has mined up this area a lot. He's making it very difficult for Disco to deal with that. FlaSh's like reinforcement of this area has been very, very good. And he's killed this, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Coming back in to try to save this base as well. Really good Psy Storm. 7 kills on that one. Gonna go after that tank as well. But yeah, these are some nice attacks from Disco overall. I'm pretty impressed with how he's playing the game. I think he's strategically doing it really well. And even taking this base, I think this base is totally fine to take it this time, especially when FlaSh is expanding up here. Because FlaSh has to pressure this area. He doesn't have the time or units to pressure this area and the right side. So I think that's a great time to take that base. Gets another Psy Storm drop down here. Going to clear this area once again. Yeah, this push is doing really, really well, but we have FlaSh, like, trying to do some counter pushing around the map. The thing is, these are little groups of units. Like, it's very doable for Disco to get over here and, like, even with speed shuttles and stuff, maybe clear out an area that looks like this. It's not that heavy on units. By the way, his upgrade's unbelievable. He's about to have 312. Oh my god, that minefield has cleared so many zealots, really paying off for FlaSh there. Another little attack into this fourth base location. Disco turns around, so he's actually giving up this base. So at this point, like, ooh, FlaSh is actually... Is that going to do anything else as for the Reaver? Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, you got one more. All right. FlaSh has 3/3 upgrades. He's cleared this base, very, very important. I think Disco, like, he still has enough economy that he's fine. Like, he's got this base and he's got this base, which are both pretty new. And it looks like he's going to attack to the north once again. Clearing these mines is, like, incredibly important here. He needs to be really careful to not lose too many zealots on the attack because it just, like, reduces that supply and allows FlaSh to hold. But yeah, FlaSh is very spread right now. Like, this is a lot of supply over here. Doesn't, yeah, a little bit. That bunker's empty. Okay, so he's cleared that. Now, here comes the attack. Actually drops DTs out, which is kind of funny because there was already a missile turret there, but not a terrible idea. Throws these Psy Storms down, and you can see, that, again, this position, so if FlaSh loses this, it's going to be based off of the attacks in this area and the amount of time and effort he's had to put into trying to hold this spot. You can see the Mass Psy Storm doing a great job clearing out a lot of his workers. In the meantime, FlaSh is trying to push this base with those additional tanks he has out on the map. This spawn position here, you know, is doing, like, okay at holding off the overall attack so that he doesn't just die to it. Disco expanding here, I think that's, again, a very good choice. He's done such a good job of controlling this area. FlaSh just can't attack there, and he's putting all of his eggs kind of into the basket of attacking up onto this base. DT's being made. It's going to be sloppy and messy, but I think Disco's going to save this base between DT's popping out of these gates, maybe. I guess that one's unpowered. But all these shuttles coming in with zealots to drop right on top as well. Yeah, the DT coming out here also, and he should be able to kill this off right before he loses his nexus. Had 2 shots left on it. Very messy, but gets it, and now he's going to expand up here again. And so I think Disco's actually going to win this game at this point. This looks really good for him overall. FlaSh trying to relay mines in this area. But yeah, this is a really interesting one to me because I generally just defer to whatever FlaSh is doing. Like, he has something figured out here. And the thing is, his unit movement and his reinforcement was very good this game. But this area was under-defended the entire time. And that, like, if FlaSh loses this, or even if he wins this, because the game is getting really long, like, this is one of the longer FlaSh TVPs. Like, this is a game from... Well, I mean, not everyone's going to lose from this position, but, like, a lot of people would have lost this game, obviously, because it's FlaSh, like, struggling with Disco. But, yeah, like, basically, if your opponent on Dominator is counterclockwise to you, it's really difficult because the mineral base is so hard to take. Like, you have to commit so many units to this area and so many structures. Like, you have to super defend it. Now, FlaSh, we'll see. I guess he's going to be able to snipe the Nexus, so that's a big moment. This Nexus is going up, so he might just move in and try to get a cancel on this one as well. Disco, once again, going with this counterattack, just runs into some mines and shots there. Has some zealots coming out. I love the zealots helping to clear that. That's a great defense matrix. 2 great defense matrix here. I would love to have seen a storm right there as well. FlaSh is getting a little bit lower on workers. But you can see he's controlling this area over and over. Unfortunately for Disco, he did lose this base. And FlaSh is starting to just kind of absorb everything. He's running around this map, keeping that pressure on. Disco hasn't been able to build like a big bank or anything yet. So even though these armies are smaller that FlaSh is moving with, you know, I said I thought Disco was going to win. It looked like a good position for him. And then FlaSh is like, I'm going to kill all the Nexuses real quick. Which it looks like he's doing at the moment. His supply finally is over what Disco's is. But FlaSh is running out of minerals as well. He's got this base healthy. This base is okay because it keeps on having to run. But this base is almost gone. This one's gone. This one's gone. So his economy can fall. Like, if you deny this one, like... you know, that's where maybe you end up winning this game still as Disco, because this one's going to run out and you need 2 mining bases. One doesn't really do it for Terran. 2 at this point with 3/3 upgrades, totally fine though. Very playable. Really ridiculously good upgrades for Disco. Very rare that you see 3/2/3 against Terran. Or really in any matchup, but yeah, that's I guess that's probably the most common really to see it in this matchup. Oh, that EMP was god tier. You got 2 High Templars and an Archon and some other gateway units in there. So this is more of the setup that you want to see generally in this area. But even this, it's like if Protoss is maxed out, they're still going to be able to clear that. So FlaSh killing off all of these nexuses, reinforcing this very important expansion. Would love to see another missile turret down there, though. Just making some Archons and some of the shields come back here, trying to decide what the next move is. He has taken this base once again. A fair amount of Dragoons made, which will help against these incoming Vultures, but not against these incoming Siege tanks. 6 High Templars are in these shuttles. Yeah, FlaSh is doing such a good job now. He's really identified that we're in this moment where we're no longer playing with maxed armies. So this much smaller army is able to kind of roam around and really get some damage going. Pretty nice Psystorm drops. The thing is, he will send these back to mine. Like, you're making it run away. You're dealing some damage to his economy. Ooh, I like the Archon morph. That's going to be actually very helpful. And now I feel like what we're going to see is the remnants of the army of Disco. Oh, you know what? He's running past to hit this base. That actually makes very much sense. That's a weird sentence, but yeah, this is an army that can kill a Terran army reasonably well if there's not that many siege tanks in there. So FlaSh actually sieges up on the side here. Taking a pretty good trade here with the Dragoons mostly out of range of the siege tanks and fighting Goliaths. Gets decent Psystorms down. But yeah, too many siege tanks up here. Yeah, FlaSh is he is so ridiculously robust. Even though he did take a lot of damage and had to lift his 4th base a lot of times, he has been able to fight back. And most of his fighting back has been based off of these smaller Vulture tank movements that have been able to eliminate bases. I actually think that Disco would have won this game if he had been a little bit more proactive of killing mines in this area. I actually think that's where FlaSh won the game with these attacks, is because he slowed everything down with mines in that general area, and Disco was going through them too often. So Disco trying probably a last-ditch effort on this attack. Yeah, getting up here on top of some of these siege tanks, but that's going to be it. GG. That was a very nice game. That was a very nice game. Well played by Disco. You can see what I'm talking about this position and how it can be very difficult. Now, I want you to imagine Protoss is in this position. Then this base becomes pretty impossible to take. But when Protoss is in this position, this base is very hard to take. Easier to take than this position, this spot when they're in this position, though. So anyways, you know, FlaSh taking his 3rd here makes sense. 4th here isn't necessarily bad, but I felt like he stretched himself a little thin, which is why we kept seeing this having to lift. But if you put all your eggs in this basket, Protoss expands over here, and how do you put the pressure over here? And you saw FlaSh struggling with that. This is the best player in the world by far against someone who can't qualify for ASL. And you saw how difficult it was for him to pressure this side of the map while holding this base. And I think Disco played it really well. Again, if he had cleared the mines in this area, he's probably going to end up taking this game because he could have defended this area more quickly. You got to be able to, in these spots, like if they take this base, you have to be able to attack this very freely, which he was doing a great job of, but also move over here because FlaSh can't have 2 huge armies here and here. It's impossible. You got to kind of make a nice siege line. So yeah, that was a fun game. I really, really enjoyed that one. Hope that you guys did as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.